What is up guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video we are exploring the town of Digana, which is found in the central hills of Sri Lanka. From epic hikes to secret waterfalls and ancient temples, in this vlog we are staying at one of the world's top 100 golf courses, the Victoria Golf Resort, and showing you why it's so much more than just a golf resort. Good morning guys, so we are heading out on a hike right now, and it is actually a temple visit plus a hike, about a 45-minute hike. I feel a little underprepared for this, so I want to prepare you. The weather here can be quite quick to change, so it's always good to carry a waterproof cap, maybe even a raincoat when we're preparing for this hike. But other than that, I am pretty sure it's going to be a great hike regardless, so let's go. So we've arrived at the site, and it was a very short ride from the Digana resort, and this is the Bammaragala Raja Mahavihare. This is a temple that was built in the 18th century. However, some things like this arch here in front are things that have been built closer to recent times. But inside you do have some beautiful caves with amazing paintings in it, so we're going to check that out. And leading up from the temple is the Pettigala hike, which is about 45 minutes. So let's go in and have a look. Because this hike is through a temple, it's very important that you wear something that is covering your knees and your shoulders as well. So that's why I'm wearing my pants and a t-shirt. It's quite simple. And as you go through here, you first come across the newer temple, which is built in front, and behind it is the older, more ancient temple. From what I've read about this temple, it is quite prominent, and there is a community of devoted worshippers that visit here. However, when it comes to the tourist side of things, because of more prominent sites like the Dalda Maligava in Kandy, this gets swept under the rug, even though it has quite a bit of history here. There is an idea that it was built in the 18th century. However, there are inscriptions that can be found which predate that time period. So like I mentioned earlier, the inscriptions on the cave ripplage actually denote that these caves are much older than the 18th century. The temple may have been built in the 18th century, but evidence suggests that these were used for monastic purposes or as a monastic complex prior to that period of time. So because of that, there is assumed to be a number of caves around this region. However, the only one that you can visit is the one here at the old temple on the top. And it is a bit run down, but I personally, between the newer one at the bottom and the older one here, I have a soft spot for temples that look and feel like this. So right now we're about to start the hike to Pettigala, and that is starting from this staircase right here, and eventually the staircase will end and it will lead you into a nature path. So I'm excited, and I'm a bit worried because I'm already out of breath. Okay, so we have made it to the top of Pettigala, and my god, the view here is stunning. You have a fabulous view of the reservoir and the dam and everything that's surrounding it. There's this lush greenery all around, and interestingly enough, there are some very tall, almost rainforest-like trees making up this forest. So that's an interesting insight. Regarding the hike though, I must tell you, you need to have good shoes, and you need to expect to be on all fours at certain point. It gets very steep in multiple places. It is a little tiring during these steep bits, but it does kind of pan out in flat areas as well. So you do get a good variety of time hiking intensity, but definitely have to be a little mindful of the hike. It is a bit on the higher endurance side, I would say.
But it was fun.
It was really fun, and like I said, it was great. Lots of time to rest in between. Very beautiful. It is rainy today, and if you are coming here and it does look like it's raining, I don't think you need to cancel your hike, especially if it's just this misty kind of rain or drizzle. But definitely carry a raincoat and good shoes, and you'll be good to go. guys, welcome to our room. Let me show you around. So this is one of the chalets here at the resort, and they have a number of types of accommodation. They've got the chalets, as you can see here. They've got some cottages as well as a villa called T6, which is quite nice. And as you can see, we are having a little bit of rain today, so we've decided to have breakfast inside. And honestly, the beauty of Digana is that even when it's rainy and misty, there is such a charm to it. Now, as I sit here with my lovely breakfast spread and I look out, there's just one thing I want to bring to your attention, which is what makes this golf course very unique in my opinion. You see these rolling hills and you almost feel like you could be transported to perhaps a golf course in a Western country, in a cold weather country in the Northern Hemisphere. And if it wasn't for these stark coconut trees that are standing right here and glaring at your face, you wouldn't realize where you really are. And that's really what makes it unique, this tropical blend into this golf course, and I really love that. This is the T6 villa. It is the oldest villa within the property and is managed by the resort. One of my favorite things about this property is the fact that it is extremely far away and isolated from the rest of the resort, which means you get a very private experience. So if you want to come and have a very exclusive experience with your friends and family, then this is the villa for you. It also has a very, very stunning view, probably the best view I have seen out of the entire resort, right at its doorstep, and it has an infinity pool that looks out into this view, so it is perfect. And I actually sat here, we spent one night here, and I sat here in the morning and I enjoyed a cup of tea, and even when it's not sunny and it was a bit gloomy and raining, you get to see the mist rolling over the dam, and it's just all sorts of beautiful. The other really good thing about this property is that you don't actually have to leave this property for any reason. Even if it's your meals, you can have all your meals delivered here, and you have your own personal butler to take care of all your needs. That felt good. Now I know why people like to play golf. Alright guys, so you just saw that. You're looking at a professional golf player right now. But actually I'm just taking one of the training courses, or like a beginner course with some of the professionals here at the Victoria Golf Resort, and I must tell you that I'm already feeling quite confident about my golfing career. It is beautiful out here. I never understood why people like to play golf, but I can see why now, because you're surrounded by so much greenery and just lush nature, so definitely understand it. This golf course has actually been voted as one of the 100 most beautiful golf courses in the entire world, which is quite an epic achievement for a course from the tiny island of Sri Lanka, I think. And I think it is with good reason, because when I look around, the environment that has been created here and around the golf course is quite stunning. It is home to quite a few wildlife. I've seen a lot of birds, peacocks, even elephants. So this is quite an interesting feat up here in the hill country of Sri Lanka. Now with a reservoir like this, you're probably wondering, can we go kayaking in it? And the answer is yes, it's a new addition and we're about to try it out. This is a wonderful activity to do in the evenings, because it is so stunning out here with the sun setting and this amazing weather that we're having. It's so peaceful. All I can hear is the sound of the waves hitting my oars, a little bit of wind as it gusts through these old trees that line the reservoir, and the sound of birds, lots of birds, and actually a few birds that are perched on these trees and branches, which I think makes this a wonderful place to go bird watching in the evening. And there's also very few people who have access to these waters, so it's only a few properties around here, very few, as well as the odd fisherman that's going around doing his business. So it's a really, really isolated place, and a great place to come and get a good idea of how beautiful the surrounding landscape really is. I mean, when you're on land, it's easy to get lost in the rolling hills of the golf course and the mountains around you, but when you're here, you get a completely different perspective. We've had a full clear day now, and I must say that while I do stand by my previous saying that the Victoria Golf Resort is in fact extremely beautiful in all kinds of weather conditions, there is really something special about this place on a clear day, on a sunny day. It really brings out the real beauty of the environment around you. All the colors of the greenery and the blue and the water just pops, and you can have an amazing experience outdoors like this one. We're having high tea here on the 4th tee. It's absolutely beautiful, so peaceful, so quiet. All I can hear are the sounds of birds and the breeze, and it's just a marvelous experience in all. I'm excited to dig in and enjoy this view while also watching that sunset, which I suspect might give us a little bit of a show on its way down. Now, while the name may suggest otherwise, the Victoria Golf Resort has a ton of things to do even if you don't play golf. And I think one of my favorite things to do so far has been to take a bike and cycle around this entire property. It's even better than taking a buggy around because you're much slower and you get to really absorb all the nature and beauty around you. It's also really nice because regardless of whether you come with kids or not, whether you're a family that doesn't play golf, there's still lots of activities to do in and around the area and keep you occupied. So I think the point I'm trying to make here is that regardless of the name Victoria Golf Resort, it's not for people who only play golf. Actually, there's a lot for people who just want to come and relax and be surrounded in this beautiful environment. I mean, look at these gorgeous large trees. Honestly, I don't know where else I would find a place like this where I can just walk across and be isolated in nature. Speaking about nature and being isolated, I don't know if you can hear it, but there's an amazing amount of different kinds of bird noises, bird sounds I can hear just in this area alone. And we just found out this is an extremely diverse hotspot for bird watching. Up to 90 different species can be found within the Digana Golf Resort. Spectacular. And that's what happens when you preserve properties and do things the right way. Today we are on a beautiful hike to a place called the Aralia Deck, and this place has a stunning view, I've been told, and it's also one of the places where you can have your breakfast. Now we are following this hiking path called the Mahavalley Trail. This place is already stunning and it's called the Mahavalley Trail because you're kind of alongside the reservoir, the Mahavalley Reservoir right here, and you get this amazing view the whole way through. And I'm sure the entirety of this trail alone is stunning, but I'm excited for our champagne breakfast. How epic is this, you guys? I think this has to be one of the most beautiful breakfasts that I have had. It's the setting with these gorgeous mountains surrounding the reservoir itself, and just the nature around it. I mean, there's coconut trees up here, and you could probably tell from this video that I love seeing coconut trees up country. It just seems so unusual to me. But this is an incredible experience to have. It's such a short distance from where you're staying within the property as well, and it's just amongst the number of amazing experiences that you can have within the property itself. One thing to note is the weather. Right now it's a little bit more clouded and gloomy, but just seconds ago it was bright and sunny. So the weather up here does keep changing quite consistently. And I think when you're coming uphill and you're traveling uphill in Sri Lanka, that's something that you have to kind of make peace with, is to surrender to the weather. Because I promise you, regardless of what the weather is like, whether it's really sunny with blue skies, which is something that you get up here as well, or whether it's the way it is right now, there's beauty in every type of weather, and there's a silver lining to be found in every situation. So honestly, you can't go wrong up country, and this has to be one of the best breakfasts, or the best views I've had with breakfast in all our travels. If you've watched this video so far and you've thought to yourself, hey, I would really like to spend more than just a few days here, or maybe you've thought, hey, I would really like to invest here, well, there is good news, because there are 2 investment options that are available at the moment. This is not something that happens very often. It's actually very rare and has happened in the past. So there are a few investment properties that are holiday homes spread out around this property. However, it hasn't happened in a long time, and this is a good opportunity to get in on it right now. So there's 2 locations that have been designated. The first one where we're at right now is called Sunrise Ridge, and here is an opportunity for a timeshare investment, which means that the resort will build the property for you, they will maintain it, and they will even do the asset management for you, taking a lot of the work off your hands and enabling you to have a holiday home up in the hills of Sri Lanka. That is really great if you're looking to invest as well as have a place that you can go and relax and wind down in. The other option is even more exclusive, and that is called Ridge View, because it is 30 acres that have been designated and will be broken up into plots depending on what the preference of the buyers are like, I'm assuming. But there you get to build your own house the way you want, in the style you want, as well as, choose the plot that you would like, the privacy, the isolation, all of those decisions are up to you. And I think it is a wonderful opportunity because this place here in Digana is really unique. It is something that is very special here in Sri Lanka. It's something special to experience the nature, the views, and the ability to go out and play golf is also another bonus add-on. And in my humble opinion, I do think that it is a good investment simply because it is already a tried and tested model. Like I said before, there are quite a few properties around here that were built many years ago, and they're still very popular as holiday destinations for travelers. It's also a great place to have a holiday home, in my opinion. Digana is a very unique and beautiful place. There aren't enough words in my vocabulary to describe it. It's a gorgeous place to come and unwind, relax. It's isolated if you want it to be, but you also have this amazing golf course and the clubhouse if you want to go out and meet with your friends or make friends and play a game. It is a very special place. Like I said before, there's a variety of things to do outside the property here in Digana. So we're going to go check out one of those things, and that is a waterfall hike. Now, this hike is not so bad. Apparently, you can drive to it, and then there's a little bit of a small hike to it. So it's possible for people of all fitness levels. Pettigala is a little bit more of a serious hike. It is about 45 minutes away, so you can take a tuk-tuk, which is a very nice experience in my opinion, because you get to look around and see the place. Or if you're in a bit of a rush and you're trying to pack in quite a few things for the day, and you really want to do this waterfall, they can drive you there as well. And we have made it to this waterfall, which is called Kukul Oya. Now, this may not be the actual name of this waterfall because the locals call it something else, but wow, it is gorgeous. It is a relatively smaller waterfall than I expected. However, it's got this really nice pool with sandy bottom and like a rocky stream that goes all the way down here, and very clear water. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's completely empty. I mean, who would have expected on a Friday afternoon for this place to be completely empty? Because I know the villagers come here quite often. But that's also one of the really
amazing things about Sri Lankan upcountry is that there are a ton of waterfalls like this scattered all over the place. And there's so many that people do visit and know about, and some that people don't even know about. If you ever want to find a waterfall that is isolated and you want to have to yourself, it's really not that hard. And another plus point for this waterfall is that it is so easy to get to. You just drive up and you walk down a relatively flat path for about 5 minutes and then you're here. So this one gets a tick for all groups of people, kids, seniors, anybody who has trouble hiking at this point in time. This one is for you.
When the Victoria Golf Resort first reached out to us, I was a bit hesitant on doing this simply because I had no knowledge on golf, and I also presumed that this was a place for golf enthusiasts. However, while we are now closing up this trip, I must say that I am really happy that we took this on, because we've had a fantastic experience. Not only have we realized that we might actually like playing golf, Shan and I after our class have discussed multiple times on whether or not we should make some time to come and learn the sport. But also I have fallen in love with Digana as a location, as a destination. I've come here as a child to the golf resort and I've had an incredible time running around, exploring and playing with my friends. So there's no doubt that this place is amazing for kids. But I never got to explore the surrounding region, and I did so this time with the Victoria Golf Resort, and there are quite a few amazing activities to do around the area but also within the area. So there really wasn't enough time for us to explore everything that we wanted to do. And it's also this really interesting weather that you've got here. You know, when it's cold and you might feel like you're in Norelia, but at the same time when the sun is out, it is the most beautiful, magical weather and climate, because right now it's quite warm and you wouldn't think we're up country. The sun is shining, I'm in my summer clothes, my jacket is nowhere to be found, but the moment a cloud rolls over, it's going to be chilly and I'm going to need it. So it's this very varying location when it comes to temperature, when it comes to activities to do. There's a lot going on, and it's a really magical, secluded little spot on the map in Sri Lanka for sure, and I definitely encourage all of you to check out this region and explore it. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!